What's up, y'all? How y'all feel today? This is gonna be a nice one here. I'm keeping it real, and I gotta say, for the record, I'm mainly putting this out for all of those that's scared to speak the truth, scared to speak what they feel inside. And I'm also doing this on behalf of all the great and loved ones that we've lost in this fight, in this struggle, in this movement. The marathon continues. I can list names on behalf of who I'm doing this for. Baba Gregory, Yosef Ben Yakinen, even those who are of the living. The Minister Farrakhan that I read a lot of information from. I've been tuning into his videos fervently, in addition to many others. Dr. Ashraf Kwesi, Tupac, Nipsey Hussle, even my brother Sean Combs, R. Kelly. For a lot of people that got caught up in the system, they was coerced, victimized, even those people who are in the LGBT. I'm speaking for you too. Because we often like to talk about the laws of duality. Well, you can't have one without the other. And this is for the people who want to talk about balance, but then let's really get to it how we're supposed to, but in righteousness. Because as I said, I'm speaking on behalf of my people that's in the LGBT as well. This is not being put out so it can be excusable to continue to indulge in them wicked sexual deviances, them sexual acts, perverted acts. I don't think y'all know how deep this goes. You never see me get on camera and talk subversive about this and that person as to a point where it looks like I'm spewing hate. What I'm giving in my heart is revelations. One of the words that's rooted in that word revelation is reveal. And that's what I'm doing. I'm revealing that which I have in my heart, in my head, my mind, my kingdom, from the observations that I make, X, Y, and Z. And I surely hope, as I had this phone resting on my knee here, I hope that the speaker was not blocked. I'm only hoping. And I know that the sound is much more, the decibels has increased because I just took it off my leg like that. All right, so moving forward, I've made a lot of observations, as people know. I'm always say that until it's no more, right? Because this is for the whole world and primarily Black America. The ADOS family. If you don't know what ADOS means, African descendants of slaves. In addition to the whole entire African diasporic family. To and fro, here, there, everywhere. Kids are having fun back there, but they sound like savages, don't they? If you ask me, that's far too much screaming. It sounds almost animalistic. But kids are young and naive, and they doing what they do. However, all kids don't act the same, because as I look into the pile, you have some that is showing wonderful mannerisms, relaxed, X, Y, and Z. And so it's going down like this. Now, say what you want, but I would only hope that after I say what I say, for that which you may not know profoundly, that you do your continual research. Right? Do your continual research on behalf of what I'm saying here. We need to do the math. and the science, let it prevail. And you too also have the strength and should have the strength to speak your truth. Now, I don't mind what I'm going through, whether it's the maladies that I'm facing within, any kind of disease that I have, in which the environment within itself, especially where a lot of black people reside in the ghettos, are disease itself. How long it's been like that? We've just been thrown a bone here and there, and we settled, became complacent. And not only have we become or have became complacent, but things are just more diabolical. Hear me out. When I say do the math and do the science, check this out. I've took a look at all the African kids who are in uh, private schools, any high school or public school that is reputable, well known, and high in academics, enrichment classes and studies, and you would always see, just as it's self-evident when you go to areas where you would see diversity, that the black people or the African people, to be more thorough, is always sprinkled here and there. Within the circles, with all respect due, if I'm looking upset, that's because I am. But I don't have no hatred in my heart. For those who've been following me, knows that. I've said it and I'll say it again. I have no hate for nobody. I don't deal with racism or colorism. I deal with facts. Facts. Okay? And that which I have within my mind and in my heart. Moving on. Take a look at them circles. And then you got to start asking yourself questions. This is why meditation and being still is very important as to where we're going. Quiet your mind. If you got a thought, be rational about it. Give it some time to manifest. Think things through. Accentuate the positive. Don't be gullible. You would always see the African people sprinkled around and basically outnumbered. Now, I'm not saying outnumbered to have a negative connotation to say they're being mutilated, they're being humiliated, they're being used, they're being ridiculed behind closed doors, because there's a lot of crafty things out here taking place. Yes, it is. But where are we going to go? How are we going to move forward by just trying to complain? No, we don't complain. We draw up the facts, we do the math and the science, and we move forward. One of the biggest tools that's holding us back is, I would have to say, faith, courage. We're not courageous enough. We're not bold enough. And it takes work. One of the main culprits that's keeping us from that is the exercise and use of capitalism, in which money is I find to be the most formidable financial tool. It is very leveraging. Makes you do some things you're not supposed to do or you don't want to do, but you still do it, so compromise has been made. That's understood. A lot of indulgences, wicked indulgences are still going on out there, but for the betterment of for where we are together, much less individually, but what about the collective African family? So do the math. Coming to the hood where we're heavily concentrated and populated, with that in itself is a whole lot of melanin power. But how are we using it? Or now let me expound a little bit on that. Because when you see those few numbers of African people in those diverse circles, I wonder as to, okay, well, as for the young, so for the old. We have council members, we have community leaders, neighborhood leaders, OGs in the hood. Everything seems to be repeating, looping. Where is the real growth? To where we have power and dominion, established community centers, recreation centers, institutions, supermarkets. Now I know this is familiarized rhetoric that I'm giving you that was spoken already by Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Dr. Umar Ifatunde, many others that we can list up and down the line. And it baffles me because I'm like, yo, we're continuing to say these things, but it's like we're still being held back as to why. Who knows that answer? Who has the answer? Because it's not that hard. It's all pieces to the puzzle that we have to put together, bring it on to our mothers, our fathers, our church ministers, ambassadors, community leaders, X, Y, and Z. Because as I've said to many people, as we all should know, it is the elders that is ruling and controlling this thing. What's that thing? This life that we have, in which encapsulate our heritage, our culture, how we exercise it, how we indulge in it. Are you following me? We still have so much of an urgent need and call for the rising of African people that I don't get how we have our children, for those who are selectively in those institutions, in which we have some who was in it for years and now became elders, as I just said, as for the young, so for the old, but yet you don't see them out here like that, being the real movers and shakers. Why? Why? For as much as we have an urgent need and calling for the betterment of our people, our communities, our neighborhood, why is it still looking the way that it's looking? I'll give you this. Even when those who become knowledgeably astute, well learned, scholastic skills and IQs way up there, how come you don't see them out here being the movers and shakers of their people? Being it from their tribal people and sister, brother tribes. What kind of unity we think we have out here? You don't got to be so quick to answer. I encourage you or suggest that you really think it through. Because this is getting more serious, y'all. People like to talk about we in a simulation. Fine. What is a simulation? What's entailed within the simulation that we cannot overcome? I'll tell you this, and it is not a joke, in which you may have heard it before. We are being systematically held back from certain resources, meaning we are still disenfranchised. There are too many disparities and disproportionality taking place within the African movement. When you hear words that you don't know, I encourage that you look it up, know it, and then apply it. Apply its definition, the applicability of the knowledge that we have and the exercise of it is what's going to continue to bear fruit, whether it's good fruit or bad. I feel that we're continuing to say the same things, and it's like we're not ready to make the necessary sacrifices, y'all. Wow, what's going on? Now I know that we can only give to the amount which we can affordably give spiritually and physically. Spiritually, energy. Physically, money, clothes, food, which is transmuted into energy when it's given sincerely and genuinely from the heart and with good manner. You can't have one without the other. Spirit and physical, inseparable. And so I'm going to say this too, with all due respect. We have African brothers who rose up in rank. They cleaved onto women outside of their tribes, no doubt. Okay, well, what do we have still? Because this is undoubtedly a man's world. But it is nothing without a woman. We both supposed to exercise power for the betterment of our people, especially according to your paternal line. Do you think Asian women move out here without what they have been bred into according to their fathers' teachings and upbringing? You think when I have kids that they're not going to come up under my teachings and my rule and my discipline so they can carry on that legacy? Or is it sinking in, y'all? So black man, you can get with whatever woman you choose, brother. Even though her family may be the breadwinners. But that's tangible money. I'm not trying to discount that or disregard it. That's wonderful. It's considered to be an asset in which, in your own being, in my own being, there are assets here because we have enriched blood, especially for those who are of the O type blood, of the O negative or O positive blood type, because those are the universal donors, which we have within, in addition to the melanin, brothers and sisters. So yeah, we may, for those that went out there and are engaged and may have married into interracial relationships, and now they have interracial covenants. There's only one race, the human race. But as far as I'm concerned, what I see for the African diasporic family here in America especially, and to my brothers and sisters in the UK, too many disproportionalities and disparities taking hold. That's why I said, and I continue to feel like I don't think we got each other's back like we do. We don't confide in one another. We're not there for one another and ready to die for what we have to die for. Not to say we just got to go and arms up and let's drop today or tomorrow and get all wild and knuckle up. No. But I don't see it. I don't see it. With all due respect, becoming a musical artist, a poet, an actress or an actor, those are great things. A football player, a basketball player, that's showing that you've mastered a particular field. But in mastering it, how is it becoming useful for the betterment of not just you, but your family and that of your people, to which we are all the seeds of our Father. So what is taking place with our families and our tribal family, primarily more so? And I have to touch on interracial relations out here because I'm beginning to know and beginning to learn more and more about who we are, which we see all over the place. We want to say we're supreme, we're children of the sun, which is very powerful. Because for those who know science, know that all the planets revolve around the sun. And if we all have the Son of God living in the sky, which is the actual sun, as within, so without African people, since we like to fluff up and flatter ourselves that we melanin and we kings and queens, well, I don't think much of that energy has awoken to where we're utilizing it in a way to empower our people. Because as I've said in a video a long time ago, that the longer we have unhappy black people, African people, and we're going through what we're going through, this whole world is going to continue to be in the shape that it's in. And that's because African people were the firstborn. All the firstborn. If you're in touch with spiritual science and spirit, that should immediately resonate with you. There's a lot of games continuing to be played out here, and I don't like it. Drop the fear, all that heckling that people be doing. You think? Listen, I don't mind to all that little talk they be giving on the side out there. And I made a video touching on that I hear it too. I think what we ought to do is to become great alchemists to transmute that. When they doing that, use it as fuel. Conceptualize it and say, hey, you hearing this, you hearing that, which may also give some telltale signs of your self-esteem. Encapsulate all of that and use it to thrive. And I'm talking to myself here. I am not excluded from this picture, man. The main thing for me is that in my current state of being is that I am so distraught by the disunification of our people, the disrespect and rebelliousness and belligerence of our young ones, and the apathy of our elders. If you take a good look into our elders' eyes, you would know. And you can see it, that something is wrong. So we need to stop playing. And this mainly goes out to my artists out there that been through a lot too, that's still in the game. All the OGs from the 80s, I'm talking about my hip hoppers, the MCs and hip hop artists from the 80s and 90s that we give respect to. We give it up to them. We revere some of them. But they're human beings just like you and I. But what do we do with the resources that we have? Why do we feel that we are... I know we feel like we're being controlled and manipulated. Even if that's the case, let's start applying reverse psychology. Let's stand firm in our faith. Bond together and move forward. Don't let money and foolish things interfere with our affairs. Every ethnic group have their own internal affairs. It's simply just. That's natural. I don't get it. People, as I said before, we worried, with all due respect, we worried about AIDS, HIV, gangrene or whatever. All these kind of diseases we've been facing for years and living with. It's like, you mean to tell me that because we may have certain diseases or facing certain diseases that we can't leave this place? Who said so? This is going out to my European family, the whole European Union. I gave it up and said that I give you guys respect based on the integrities of your works for what you have accomplished by your exercising of education in your field of mastery. That's quite commendable. Indeed, it is, in fact, because it takes time to learn, train yourself, and to become professed at what is it that you're doing, which is applies to everybody. But for my European Union, I get it. But if you think, being that you came from us, if you're trying to utilize fear tactics continually to oppress and depress people, beware what's coming for y'all. Now I know nothing's supposed to come easy, but for all the mixing we've been doing, and for all that has been given to y'all, I said it, disproportionality and disparities. Many fields that we can cluster into those words as to why we continue to go through what we go through. We need to be more humble, practice humility, and start getting things right. You mean to tell me, man, like I said to a brother today, all of our artists, and this is exactly why I said it, I'm saying what I'm saying on behalf of P. Diddy Combs and R. Kelly and Thus and So. Because I know, being more spiritually knowledgeable, that when judgment comes, it comes. I know that I could go to a prison, I could give good word, but that's not gonna release the prisoners out that jail. Stay with me, y'all. But they're gonna have good food for thought, to which they can now start to implement some new profound ways in their lives, which can possibly kill all the crime, it can kill all the sexual wickedness and perversions, and then we start to clean up. And when they come on out here, out to the public and being released from prison and being released from the shackles of their mind, we start to really build like how we're supposed to. Is it resonating? A lot of the brothers and sisters in the entertainment field, in the Hollywood world, to all of y'all over there on the west side that's going through it too. Cause it's like somewhat like the best of both worlds in a perverted way, where you got from New York to LA looking like goddamn cesspools. A lot of that is still going on. But you mean to tell me y'all can't make music? Y'all can't have parties, smoke a little cigar here and there without having to give it up to the devilish, demonic ways? You telling me y'all can't do that? Y'all can't be like, yo, I ain't dealing with that no more. I know my music. I know how to produce beats. I know how to rhyme. I know how to I know how to lyrically be poetic. I could have a tour. I could have a show. You mean to tell me the continual price to continue to get your monies is by indulging in wicked acts? I don't care if you want to call it ritualistic or whatever. Whatever you want to lay claim to. You mean to tell me that we can't live and go on without having to deal with that, them sexual deviances and perversions? I don't get down with none of that. And I proudly say so. But what I'm saying here, I'm revealing. Because it's going out into the ethers. We have the power to terraform this whole earth. I don't know what we're waiting for. I don't believe. I don't believe that, oh, because I smoke a black and mild and this and that, I'm being held back from this and that. That is BS. That is BS, because there's people out there that's doing worse. And they got the houses, they got this and that and the third. And I ain't looking at it like, yo, how they got it and I ain't got it. No, 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 no. Because for all that they have, what are they doing with it? Or how do they really feel inside spiritually? How about that? And inadvertently, that within itself is a calling to show that we need to come together. But like I just said to my European Union family, humbleness and humility. African people, we have to exercise that too. All of us in the human race have to exercise that. Being faithful and confident. And for you trolls out there, for you wicked handlers out there, and agents out there, you think I don't be smelling them funny smells and conceptualize it as a spray? You think I don't know about that? Huh? Using satire and innuendos to belittle people, to cut their spirit. Come on, man, that don't work over here. If anything, it annoys the hell out of me. So what's up, y'all? We got too many affiliations from hood to hood for it to still be looking like this, man. And I think it's for them same reasons that because we a lot of people, they too much on their own DICK. They too much into themselves. They too self-righteous. In addition to being caught up in the ways of this world, that's contrary to the Most High. That we ain't making much progress because we're not coming together like we supposed to in righteousness, humbleness, and humility. Trust me. I see why I haven't been brought out or spoke face to face with some real time artists, X, Y, and Z, where we don't have to do it on camera. We don't got to put it out to the public immediately or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But just to break bread and chop it up. Because I got knowledge. You got knowledge. But what we doing with it from coast to coast, city to city, borough to borough, next door, with your brothers and sisters to break bread. Man, look, man. So y'all going to continue to play those games and we going to see where we go. Continue to look at your brothers and sisters being slaughtered and put in the fire, hellfire in these streets. And we think we love each other, like I said, and I give it up on the bus and places that I be at. I get in the spirit and I start talking to our people like, yo, I don't think we got each other's back and we spending real love like we think we do. I ain't looking for nobody to spare me, to be all heavily sympathetic and just want to be like, here. Nah. Because I don't ask nobody for nothing. I'm not complaining. I just speak my damn heart and I keeps it real. Yo. And like I said in many other videos, spread this word, man. This ain't for clout or fame. This is serious. Pass this on. And then let's build. And we gonna see where this go. You know what? Apathy is one of the things that's hurting us. Slothfulness. High-minded. Too self-conscious. We gonna learn one way or another, by hook or by crook. You choose. Talk back to me. Peace, love, and light.